Alright, making a video. Yeah, probably shouldn't do this, but I'm thinking draft science video as a walk and talk, which is, bad idea probably. But anyway, that's what's on my mind, so that's where I'm going to go. I just think about physics and stuff after the Lane Craig thing, and the universe and this creation of the universe and what the universe is doing. And, somebody, of course, always makes some sort of remark like, the universe can't do that, or the universe can't do this, or whatever. And, so say the expansion thing, the universe is expanding. So the question would be, my first argument with this is our science is kind of limited, in terms of being able to draw a real picture of this, in terms of how the forces are really acting. And it gets so complicated, so I'll get into some of that. Just in terms of the different elements, the pieces, there's so many moving pieces. What we're made out of. Again, understand that just your fingernail has enough energy in it to blow the earth up. It's incredibly, there's an incredible amount of energy, little pieces, little particulates, moving at the speed of light, little photons, in matter. That's where this gets a little complicated. And then you look at the whole big giant universe, it's just, a preposterous amount of discrete bits. Inconceivably huge amount of discrete bits. Sorry, I'm not kind of off today. Anyway, it's just a little difficult to do anything. Anyway, so where was I? All right, so one thing that just sort of bothers me is that, what's the oldest light we can see? The farthest ends of the universe. And somebody would say, okay, there's light that's 13 billion years old or whatever that's landing on Earth right now. But you still have to argue, how did something get 13 billion light years away? And, how long does it take to get 13 billion light years away? It's got to take a long time to do that. That's like, the expansion could be, the universe could be only like a tiny fraction of how old it will be. In terms of, where this story ends. So I would argue that, if you could combine all the black holes into one big giant black hole or something, that it would all suck everything back again. Everything would get bent back. Because gravity goes forever and all that kind of stuff too. So that's another argument I'd make, is that, let's say light going from the end of the universe, the furthest thing out there, producing light, and it's been producing it for 13 billion years. But obviously it wasn't in the same position for those 13 billion years. But anyway, there's obviously light that's traveled further than the furthest thing in the universe. Thing being matter. And so there's light that's shooting out beyond the universe. And how does that energy ever get pulled back? And I guess I would argue that theoretically the subtle gravitational pull would always be imbalanced. There'd always be a little bit more gravity pulling one side than pulling the other side. And so it will bend the light over time, eventually. And so light streams out a zillion miles, and it starts to arc. Because the gravity just keeps tugging at it. And tugging at it, and tugging at it. Just a little teeny bit, but it's always doing it. And eventually, it'll bend it home. So maybe that would be, maybe only a tiny fraction of the universe is doing this kind of active universe thing, and most of the lifespan of the universe will be the collapse. And it'll take gazillions of years for the universe to particulate, and for all the particulates to again flow back into the center. And boom again. But anyway, so I'm just arguing that yes, that's theoretically possible, I think. I think it's there in the math. I think it's there in the physics. To say, you just have to really make the universe potentially humongous. Anyway, so the other point I'd make was on what subject? Oh yeah, I want to get to this matter thing, because this is the energy thing. This is the real, to me, this is my significant contribution to the subject, is understanding this light speed thing. And understanding the little bits are the only thing moving. The only thing actually moving are the pieces the universe is made out of. This goes with Einstein's relativity theory. The pieces can't ever acquire momentum or anything. They do one thing. They move from here to there, wherever there might be, at the speed of light. And that's all they do. They don't do anything else. And so when my hand moves, it's saying, hey, look, there's something not moving the speed of light. But actually, the bits all are. They're still moving the speed of light. And the only thing that's changed when my hand moves is that the proportion of quanta moving in that direction, okay, is changed. So the arrangement of the matter is different. So like if you throw a baseball, there's these kinetic forces. So electricity starts getting, static electricity, a lot of other things start getting created by this movement. So motion creates these electrical charges. And these electrical charges are pretty much just a representation of changing the directionality of the internal quanta structure. So the photons that the matter is made up of changes how it's moving. So, like a magnetic field can be created, or an electrical field. And there's a cicada death throwing. Holy shit, its whole ass is missing. God damn, it's disgusting. Look at this. That is fucked up, buddy. Oh, I know, I'm really fucked. I'm totally screwed. Ah, look, my whole fucking ass is gone. It's all gone. It's all like particulated and powderized. What the fuck is going on? This is totally fucked up. Holy shit. My mama should get kicked in the cunt. Yeah, you are so fucked, you're dead. That can't be him. It's another one with his ass missing. Oh no, that's him. So he's still moving. But he's cooked. You're cooked, fucker. Yeah, I know. I don't know what to say. Just give me, flatten me. I just can't stand looking at me. Okay. Jesus. This is horrible. Whoa. Ew. What creepy shit life is. See, there's one dead here. Yeah, his ass exploded. Look at this shit. Look at this shit. There's shit flying out of him. Fucking hey, I don't want to be a cicada. Holy shit. Oh, man. Life is too fucking creepy, baby. Alright, anyway, another one dead. Another one dead. Another one. Oh, man. Alright, anyway. So, speed of light, yeah. So, like when you throw a baseball, what's happening is the matter is being rearranged. So now the atomic particles are, with a preponderance of the bulk of them, are now changed their movement. So instead of they're going around the world, going around the sun, doing all these other movements that are built into them, they have this added movement of being thrown and spinning. So the spinning and the movement in, from here to there is created by the matter itself being rearranged. That means more electrons are going that way. Probably electrons, but it could be quanta itself. It could be what's called dark matter or dark energy. It could be the loosely affiliated quanti that I would argue was probably part of atomic structure also. But anyway, the point is now there's more things moving in that direction. That's all. And so instead of going in that direction, in that direction, in that direction, in orbiting, they're now transferring mass from one end to the other end of the baseball. So electrons, quanta, is moving through the baseball, probably shooting out of the baseball even, and it's sucking quanta in probably through other surface area or the external environment, which changes electrical potential. And so now it's probably, does create a static event, static electricity event when it travels through the atmosphere. But it's just quanta, little bits moving at the speed of light, doing nothing else, changing their orientation, changing their orbit around atoms. So instead of being around one atom, they're transferring to another atom that's in the direction of the movement. And so that creates forward overall distance. Relative distance is now changed. There's more particulates of quanta moving in that direction. So it's like the speed of sound argument I would make. All sound is created by sonic booms. Your larynx is vibrating faster than the speed of sound and throwing off bits of matter, and that is creating little tiny sonic booms that become what we hear as our voices. And likewise, all of this, everything, is being created by the direction of the movement of quanta at the speed of light. And the catch to it, what makes it interesting, is the idea that the quanta can be trapped in orbits, okay? And that's what creates everything, time and distance, space, all this nuance is created because you capture the linear movement into a eternal movement, circular movement. So you kill the distance and therefore store up something that might be called time. Yeah, because now time is trapped in a sense by this consuming this distance with no distance. This idea of circularity. Oh, there's the blue heron. You probably can't see that, no chance. But big bird flying through trees. Spooky. But anyway, yeah, that's probably enough of a mess of this subject. You need to sort of draw a picture of it, especially this idea of what the universe is doing in terms of what we know scientifically about its size and shape, and what we could speculate, about what might actually be the truth in terms of what could be. I suppose what we know is there's no light coming from some other universe, but I don't know if we, I don't know if that would matter. Yeah, I don't know what that would mean if we could, but it doesn't, like I said, that's sort of irrelevant. It's not irrelevant, sort of relevant, that whatever this is doing, whatever the photons here are doing, the question is, do they stay here? Yeah, do they? Are they? Is the universe going to slowly bleed out, photon at a friggin' time? Theoretically, all the energy in the universe could be dispensed into space as light. Yeah. or some of the radiation, photonic radiation. And so understand too that I think photons are basically quanta perfectly arranged. I think a photon is a mass of quanta, a million quanta, all moving in the same direction, in a chain, or in a block, or in a school. And that an electron is the same thing, except the quanta are trapped in eccentric, they're interfering with each other, orbiting each other. And so their path is no longer linear. Their path is broken, and therefore their movement is not necessarily, and can't be, speed of light. I think it explains it. So photons are made out of quanta, electrons are made out of photons, atoms are made out of electrons, nucleuses, atomic nucleuses, that kind of thing. I think is the fundamentals to these building blocks in my model, Gary model. Anyway, so till next time, and such, and so forth, and whatnot. Ooh, that cicada horror was just horrible.